Chiropassion Consulting, and we're going to talk about how to conquer your goals. And it's going to be awesome. We're going to spend about 20-25 minutes here really talking about and sharing with you some ways to set goals and conquering them. And there's some skill sets that I've learned over the years that I certainly want to share with you a little bit this evening here in the 20-25 minutes that we have together. Before I do, I want to remind everybody on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, Dominican Republic. You can join us at chiropassionconsulting.org and register. There's still time available for you to join us, and we still have space available. We would love for you to join us for our mastermind event. Mastermind event, we had done a webinar a little while back on essentially mastering your life. But the point I want to make is we're going to work on a mastermind event down there about changing your life, breaking through fears, overcoming challenges, overcoming those things that you put in your mind, that fear, or those things you put in your mind that, hey, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. Those things you repeatedly tell yourself over and over. We want to punch through that and allow you to be extremely powerful with a sense of certainty and clarity and confidence, not only so you can master your life, but listen, the better you are, the better steward you are to chiropractic, the more effect we're going to have on changing the lives of other people. And that's what really this journey is all about, certainly if you're a chiropractor. So that being said, or chiropractic helper, that being said, let me share with you some ideas about mastering your life by conquering your goals, how to conquer your goals. So let's talk about that. First, what the heck are goals? We talked a little bit before on rituals. What are goals? Goals are achievements that you want to create in your life. They're achievements that you're going to set for yourself so that you can aim towards that goal, towards that achievement. Now, here's some docs saying, and other experts in our world from now or years past say, maybe set something so outrageous that you'll never get it, but you'll certainly come close. Shoot for what they say now. Don't shoot for the moon because there's already footprints on the moon. So shoot for Jupiter and maybe you'll land on the moon. Those are thoughts, and I'm not necessarily against those. And you can certainly set that ultimate goal. I don't think that's a bad idea, but we definitely need to set goals that are achievable. And what that's going to do is that, there's so many one-liners that come to my head, but, the higher I climb, the further I can see. So, you tell somebody, a guy like me, that, you see a certain volume of people in your practice, and somebody says, hey, this is what I see, and you're like, oh, that's impossible, that's crazy, how can you do that? You can't do that, I could never do that. And then what you notice is, once you get closer to that, hey, maybe I double what I see, I triple what I see, I quadruple the number of people I serve, then all of a sudden you go, well, now I can see that. I can see that that's possible. Hell, I can even do that. We know the story of Roger Bannister. Nobody could run a 4-minute mile. This guy runs it. As soon as he runs it, he makes everyone realize that they can do it too by him doing it. So then 17 people plus break the 4-minute mile barrier within a year. So that's what I mean by that. I want us to set goals that we can achieve. Certainly, you can have that ultimate goal of your life out there, and that could be something that is so much bigger than you, and that your achievements, if you will work part and parcel with that. I think that's awesome, but that's not what I'm talking about right here. So let's set some goals, and let's learn how to conquer those goals. So what does that mean, conquering goals? That means achieving them. Well, how the hell do you achieve them? Well, first off, as I mentioned before, we need to come up with some goals, and those goals need to be in congruency with our life plan, our vision plan. So, do you have destinations, if you will, in your life? And I use the word destinations because anywhere you want to go, you want to use a GPS in order to plug it in there so that it makes everything you do more efficient in trying to get to that destination, right? Driving a car, I don't want to take 3 unnecessary left turns. Well, I don't want to do that in my life either because I want to manage my time, I want to control my time, so I want to make sure if I got to take 1 left and 2 rights, I want to make sure I'm not making any mistakes or certainly minimizing those errors. Having a GPS allows you to do that. That's number 1. So what you all need to do is you need to write down what it is that you want to achieve in your life. I want to achieve joy and health and happiness for all those people I serve. I want to be the best father that has ever walked planet Earth. I want to be the best chiropractor that the universe made me to be, or certainly intended me to be. I want to unfold myself, if you will, into that person. That's what I want to do. I want to have total control of my financial structure, 100%, so that when I go to the office every day, I'm not working, I'm retired. I'm doing something I love, serving people. I can set rules and standards in my practice that I can live by and abide by, because I'm not living in a world of scarcity like, oh my God, if Linda leaves today, I can't pay my food bill, I can't pay my electric bill, I'm going to get kicked out of my building. I don't want to live in that world. I want to live in a life where I control and manage these other factors in my life, that they become under so much of my control that they almost become insignificant. That I basically master them and overcome them to make them not only insignificant, I transcend them as challenges in my life. That's what we're trying to do. That's what goals allow you to do. So that being said, let's talk about goals. We want to come up with some goals. Now, goals, I think you're making a mistake if you just set business goals. I see a lot of practices do that. You're going to say, I want to set business goals, business goals, business goals. Don't just set business goals. Number two, anything that you set for the practice, those goals have to be set in conjunction with your staff. You know, I think it's ridiculous that you think Alexander the Great says, okay, this is what we want to achieve, this is what we want to do, here's my vision, and then he goes out and just tells them, okay, we're going in this direction? Or do you think he gives speeches after speech after speech, basically inspiring his men and women and indicating to them that how great they are, and how awesome they are, and how powerful they are, and how skilled they are, and based upon that and their better social structure and the better way of life, that they're going to go certainly present and conquer the rest of the world to share with the rest of the world their vision. You know, so he shares their vision, which inspires everybody else. You need to do that in your practice. You need to sit your staff down and say, okay, this is what I'm thinking. This is what, I'd like to do. What do you guys think of that? Are you guys on board with that? What's going on? That might indicate to you that that staff member shouldn't be there, for that matter, or whatever, right? But, are they on board? Are they working towards a big vision? That's number one. Two, you need to set some personal goals for yourself. We need to have balance in our life. And take it from somebody who, was always focused on office, grow. And I did phenomenal things in my practice. Busier days than just about anybody that's ever had ever. But the reality is, if you're not managing and having balance in other areas of your life, then that creates imbalance in your life, right? We don't want to do that. So we want to have phenomenal goals set for our practice so we can serve people. We want to have phenomenal goals set for us personally. We want to have phenomenal goals set for us spiritually, whatever that may be. I don't mean religion, though that may be what the word spiritual means to you, and that's great. But wherever that is, I want to make sure I have goals in all of those categories, okay? So what I want to do is I want to set some goals, and I'm going to set a goal, and I want to set 3 goals, a minimum of 3 goals in each one of those categories. So I'm going to set goals in each one of those categories. Hey, I want to see this many people. Okay, and that's really important. That's going to be one of the goals that, let's say, you set, right? I want to have this level of income in the practice. As far as personal goals, as I said before, I want to be the best father ever, right? I want to be just absolutely the best father. I want to be the best friend I could ever be. I want to certainly be a phenomenal presenter for chiropractic. I want to be a great a mentor to other people. I want to be a great teacher to other chiropractors and other chiropractic helpers. So I teach at New Beginnings, the CA program and so forth. And I do that. I volunteer my time for that. I want to do everything that I can so that when it's all over, right? I mean, as you've heard before, you're never going to see a brains follow a hearse, right? I mean, in the end, what do you see with most people when they get older? They want to get rid of their stuff. They don't want all that stuff. And I was a guy that accumulated a whole bunch of stuff because I made a lot of money. All of a sudden, what do? You make a lot of money. So you start accumulating stuff. And then you realize, that just complicates your life and it slows you down and it becomes distractions for you. And you need to try to transcend that. Maybe some of us need to go through that journey in order to do that. It doesn't mean certainly that I don't like nice things or that you can't have nice things in your life. But the reality is your life can't be the accumulation of stuff. So when we look at these goals, we want to make sure that these goals are goals that are things that we want to attain, but that are virtuous, that they're goals that actually bring us to a better place in our life, a place of simplicity but powerful. Goals that allow us to serve more people with what it is that we have to do without becoming distractions. If those goals, if my spiritual strength is so powerful, boy, I'm so much more connected to universal intelligence that when I go into the office, or I go lecture, or I go teach, or I go mentor, or I go coach, in any of those situations that I'm in, it makes me more, when I say powerful, inside it makes me more powerful. It makes me more purposeful. It makes me feel more congruent with the greatest power in the universe, and that's universal intelligence. So therefore, I'm going to be more successful in conveying a message of clarity. Certainly that's what we want to do. So those goals, everything needs to work in harmony with everything else. And that congruency is power, congruency is clarity, congruency is efficiency. So we want to make sure that all the goals and that everything we set and everything we do is working tandem, conjunction, hand in hand with what it is we're trying to do. So we need to set multiple goals in those categories and other categories if you want, or a subcategory. That's number one. Number two, what you need to do briefly here is you need to set the why. Now the why is what I call diesel fuel. The reality is I can open up an office like if I had a truck. Think of a truck as your office in the sense that it's got all the hardware. It's got an engine, it's got a battery, it's got a fuel tank, it's got tires, bearings, seats, steering wheel, shifter, radio, air conditioning, windshield, rear view mirrors, got a grill, got a bumper, got everything you need on it, right? So think of that as your practice. I got a beautiful practice. I've got TVs, I've got the greatest computer software known to man. I've got great adjusting tables, phenomenal staff, great uniform, beautiful carpet, great location, beautiful sign. I got it all. Anything and everything that a mentor, a coach, whoever taught me anything said it's exactly what I need. But let me tell you something. If you don't have a why, if you don't have a mission, if you don't have a purpose, it's like starting your truck without any diesel fuel. And I like diesel fuel because it's got the most bang for the buck. You know, diesel run a long time. You know, they don't use gasoline or other fuel sources in a big truck going across the country. They use diesel. Why? Because diesel burns a long time. It's got a lot of bang for the buck. And you need a tank full of diesel in order to get where you're going. Because let me tell you, being a chiropractor in today's environment not only can be confusing for some docs, but it takes a lot of effort and work. It takes passion and purpose, mission, and why. And if you don't have a tank full of purpose and mission and why, if you don't have a tank full of that, you're not going to go anywhere. It's like starting a truck on an empty tank. It just won't go. I got all the hardware, I got everything I need in the office. I even have a chiropractor. Here's the chiropractor standing there, but he or she isn't filled with a why. There's no mission, there's no purpose, there's no passion, there's nothing. And as a result, nobody wants to come, and this doc, male or female, is failing as they view it in practice. Well, let me tell you, because you don't have a why. So the question is, why do you want to see a lot of people? Why do you want to serve humanity? Why do you want to see more children? Why do you want to make more money? Why do you want to have a closer connection to universal intelligence? Whatever your why is, or your goal is, why? And you have to have a whole series of why. You should not be struggling on the why. If you're struggling on the why, then your goal isn't the right goal. As proud of that goal may be if you attain it, the reality is you don't have any why. So you're not ready for that goal yet. And that's a problem. You know, you don't want to have incongruency. You know, if part of your mind's like, oh, geez, I want to make a ton of money and I want to see a whole bunch of people, but man, I just hate working. I just hate going in the office every day. You know, you can write down the goals and you can write down the whys, but there's an incongruency in that too, right? You got to love chiropractic. You got to be doing what you love. You got to be doing what makes your heart sing. You got to be doing what just fires you up. When I talk to people, you can probably tell this in the video, you know, I just, when I start talking, I just start getting so excited and passionate and enthusiastic, and I do that when I speak on stage, and I do that in my office on a Monday night, and I do that in my Monday morning. I mean, you know, I just get in the money. Boy, that third and fourth adjustment, I'm like, man, let's go. It's happy, healthy Monday. Let's give you a healthier nervous system. I mean, that's the way that's got to run. That's the way it's got to go. Man, that was a great adjustment. You connect that to the organ, give them a high five, confirm that next time they're coming in, give them a little value statement with the adjustment. I'm telling you, it just fires you up. There's nothing I love better than getting my hand on an atlas and just feeling that area where it's subluxated, putting a thrust through there, letting that body just, I can hear the nervous system work better. I tell them that I can actually hear your nervous system working better. So, those are good goals. I want to improve on my table talk. I mean, it's a great goal. I want to improve on reevals. I want to make some changes. Why? Why? You got to come up with a bunch of whys. Then you got to come up with action steps. Okay, what are some action steps? What are the things I need to do in order to attain the goal? And they should all be congruent with your why. Very, very important. And consequences. What are the consequences if I don't achieve the goal? And what that does is that creates emotional leverage. So when we talk about conquering your goals, what we're really talking about is creating rituals and emotional leverage in order for you to get there. So you got to have clarity on your destination, right? You got to have a why, you got to have action steps, and you got to have consequences. And then the consequences, along with everything else, give you action steps. Sounds a lot like Charles Dickens, doesn't it? Remember our famous story of Scrooge, right? And he was met initially by Jacob Marley, right? And he had that big chain of all the regret and mistakes that he had in his life. And he said, hey, listen, I got to tell you, the one they're making for you, that makes mine pale in comparison. This is nothing compared to what they're making for you. What the universe has made for you, Scrooge, is 1,000,000 times more than that. Unbelievable. So that's what we need to do. So what does he get met by? Past, present, and future, right? So same idea, past, present, and future. Create that leverage in your life. Create leverage, meaning create a bar so far, so long that when I push down, I can crank something up easily. If you feel like you're going through life laboring your effort and time, boy, it makes life a lot more difficult. Are you doing what you love? Well, you are? Okay, great then. Write down some goals, write down some whys you want to achieve that goal, write down some action steps, absolutely important. Write down the consequences of not achieving those goals, and then last, read them a lot, like every day. Read over your goals. That's got to be part of the rituals, which we talked about in prior videos. What are the rituals that you set for your life? Every morning I'm going to get up and I'm going to read over my goals. Do that at the very least. I got a case full of Palmer and oh my God, Freddie Barge and you name it, Dee Dee. I got all kinds of books that I read on a regular basis just to constantly get it in my head. Albert Hubbard, I read all kinds of Albert Hubbard. Best friend of B.J. Palmer till he died. I read over that stuff. Okay, these are some great leaders. Thomas Edison, Tesla, Nikolai Tesla. I read those guys. And somebody might say, well, what are you going to be, an electrical engineer? No. But you know what? They were all friends of each other, or they knew each other, or maybe they were guys that were competing with each other. But they were the best of the best of the best. I want to learn about them. I want to learn about what their thoughts are, how their brain worked, what they were thinking about, what they dwelled upon, what were their goals, what were their aspirations, what were their dreams, why did they want to achieve that, what were the consequences when they didn't follow through, why did Einstein have trouble when he got started and then move forward, who's Alexander the Great, how do you get to be 33 years old and be the greatest general that's ever walked the planet, leading legions of thousands and thousands of men to conquer the world at 33? How the hell do you get to do that? Those are the thoughts that I want to read over. And then I read over the great leaders of chiropractic and the great Chris Kent. I read his stuff and watch his DVD 1,000,000 times. And just constantly plug that stuff into my brain so that no matter where I'm at, in front of a group of people, at a party, in front of a group of people at an event, like over at Mile High, Danny Knowles' event was phenomenal. Wherever I'm at, I can get up somewhere and just start talking and sharing with them, not necessarily just my thoughts, but thoughts of great mentors, great leaders, great thinkers, and those are my goals. Those are my rituals. I read them over every day. It gives me such a great sense of clarity and confidence and strength. I call it armor and ammunition. Polish your armor and load up on your ammunition, your clarity and your certainty. Clarity and certainty, critical, so that no matter where you are in your life, no matter who you're talking to, no matter who you're presenting with, you're able to do that in a way that's effective. Napoleon Hill said, for no man can express through words or acts those thoughts or beliefs that are not in harmony with their own beliefs. And if they choose to do so, they will fail with their ability to influence other people. You will fail with your ability to influence other people if you yourself lack clarity and certainty. The way you gain certainty and clarity, it's like building up a beautiful brick wall. It's doing your rituals every day. It's having goals set for yourself. It's taking control of your time. It's taking control of your thoughts. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's a mastery. You know, nobody is born and becomes Buddha. You know, Christ, it took him 30 years to develop his ministry. If you want to deal with Buddha, it took almost the same amount of time. I mean, they had to go through trial and tribulation and tasks. They had to go through the experiences of life in order for them to really start to sit back and master it and realize that, look, you know what, it's not about me. We're all connected. We're all in it together. We're in a sea of information, of energy, of love, of communal service. And the best way that I can help humanity, the best thing that I can do in this world, in the time that I have on planet Earth that I was gifted to by the universe, the best thing that I can do to share is serve other people. It's the best thing. And as a chiropractor, you get to do that without a needle, without a scalpel. Not to say that they're never needed. That's not my point. The point is that what you do as a chiropractor is awesome. It was given to us by the universe. The universe made you to bring it to other people, and the universe did that in an effort to make humanity healthier. You have a message that is congruent with universal intelligence, and you have the responsibility to share it with the world. And the more effective you are in doing so, the faster humanity will reconnect themselves to the source and live a healthier life. Guys, my gift to you is this. If you register for the IFC Global Summit, the IFCO Global Summit, so you can go right to ifcochiro.org and register for that, you'll have admission at no additional cost to come join us at Chiropassion Consulting. We're going to start Friday night on the beach. It's going to be myself, Lyle Kocha, Liam Schubel, and others. We're shooting for a fire walk. We're going to do breakthroughs. We're going to do all types of fear challenges, overcoming obstacles in our life. We're going to do it Saturday morning, Saturday night, and Sunday morning on the beach, weather permitting. If not, we'll do it inside. It really is going to be a life-changing event. I'd love to see you there. You can go right on chiropassionconsulting.com and register right in the bottom right-hand corner. If you do register for the IFCO, we'll know who you are and so forth, and we'll make sure that you get the gift certificate to join us on the beach. This has been Dr. Joe Borio. Please know that your life has meaning. May your innate always flow from above down, and I love you for loving what I love. Have an awesome week serving. Can't wait to see you in the Dominican. Thanks.
Best friend gave me the best advice. He said each day's a gift and not a given right. Leave no